morning. All right. Oh, guys, I missed you. I missed you last week. So good to be back here. We're just going to get right into it. My name is Trav. We've got Kobe. We have got Quantic. Kobe's somewhere. He was here a second ago, so he'll be back soon. Together, we are Web3 Matters. And this is an important day today. This is an important day. We are actually having our first ever Shipyard slash Web3 Matters stakeholder meeting. So, first of all, Quantic, how you doing, my friend? How's your day?
Doing super. I have had a great day. Super excited with everything that's happening with Flare right now. We're having an important vote. But today is about us. Today is about our holders, and about the things that we have achieved and about how we plan to improve from here. Because one thing that I've noticed is that we are increasingly, getting better and better. Everything related to agents, right? And thanks for Kobe for leading these efforts. And bottom line, we want to see how this will translate into benefit for the people that are supporting us via the ship token, right? Do not get confused. We are here to build, and we're going to build applications that at some point might not have much to do with the token itself, especially in the agentic space. It doesn't make any sense to add more friction in some cases with more
Mhm.
crypto related stuff. However, I do want to clarify, how the ecosystem, everything is powered by ship one way or the other. And I think it's important for us to take a moment to look back and see where we are, what we have delivered, and what we plan to do next. And what a better way to do this than doing something that I don't think any project is actually doing, right? Which is like, yeah, you know what? We have these tokens. We are using these tokens. We are building to improve the utility of the token. We have people that support us, families, family members, friends, whatever. This is us being accountable for all of that, right?
100%. 100%. No, it's sobering to be able to do this, and it's even more humbling to know that no one else is doing this. So yeah, guys, I'm fired up to be here with you guys today. Also, might I add how sharp you are looking today? As if you guys were knives, you'd be the sharpest of knives. And Kobe, how you doing today, my friend? Exactly.
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. I'm at a different spot for work today, so it's been interesting. But yeah, man, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Just updated some of our agents to like the latest versions of their respective harnesses over the last couple of days, and have been like exploring using open source models via Open Router, which has been pretty
Mhm.
cool. Been a nice like learning experience, and then I'm not going to share it with anybody just because I don't want it to get ruined. But I may or may not have found a workaround to get to use like the Claude subscription inside of some of these agent harnesses. So that's a developing story,
Okay.
but yeah. So
Okay, stay
I'm doing
tuned,
good.
team, because of course,
Hmm.
after all that drama that happened between OpenAI and Anthropic, not being able to use OpenClaw anymore the way that people have been, there's a huge void that exists now of, how can people have these autonomous 24-hour working AI agents? And you guys just heard it here first. Kobe is figuring out that solution here. So stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Potentially, yeah, yeah.
I,
But the
I
cool
Potentially.
think
thing
that
is we were talking about it in our meeting is like the future of this space, where right now a lot of the open source models are just simply just not good enough to operate like a kind of a multi-agent like orchestration. But that doesn't mean, but they weren't even good enough to do tool calls a year ago, and now they're doing tons of tool calls in a row. So our thought process is if we get ahead of everything and like understand how to plug and play different models from different open source models, then eventually by the time they get good, we'll be able to plug them in and kind of already be ahead of the pack. And also excited to show this new app launch today too. So, or this new app that's going to be launched. So looking forward to that.
Speaking about shipping, it's happening again. Guys, I just want to say, I'd like to make just a quick comment here. It's pretty amazing how, looking back in the Web3 Matters journey, how for so long we were trying to keep up, we were trying to at least maintain the status quo, but now we are at a point where we are forging ahead and finding new paths, and that's pretty cool. And that's saying something. I mean, of course, there's the state of affairs in Web3 right now. It's not looking super hot. But one thing I do want to mention here is Quantic. You had a post not long ago, and you mentioned some of the values and some of the reasons that Web3 still does indeed matter. Do you want to just remind us on why that is the case?
I have no context of that post, so you would have to remind me what was like the broader context. If you do that, I can be of help. But are we talking about like Web3 matters or why I think like in general Web3 matters?
Why in general, like crypto specifically, something about freedom of finance. It was something along those lines here, if that rings any
Oh
bells.
yeah, 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 for sure. I mean that thesis is never going to change, right? Um, Let me put you a concrete example right now. I'm working with proof rails, as you guys know. I have like aside from the work that I do with Flare, I only have two other things going on that I'm not gonna stop doing and I'm gonna do regardless of whatever happens. One of these is Web3 Matters. So, I'm super excited for everything that we're doing. I'm gonna study. And the other thing is proof rails, on which I'm creating, you know, tools and protocols and infrastructure that can help bridge the gap between institutions and crypto, essentially. And for that, I'm taking like a very close approach and having a formal company and bank accounts and all of that. At each point, when trying to create this company in the most compliant way, legal way, whatever you want to call it is extremely challenging. And you can see that you are not in control. You have to ask for permission. If these banks or whoever wants to say no for whatever reason or ask you more information for whatever reason, you have no way of thinking, right? And the only thing that I want to do is just be a company that can operate freely and transmit and communicate value. And it's been a struggle for months. I'm okay with that because I already knew more or less how that works. But if I'm in crypto, like we did, we just set up a multi-sig wallet, launch a token, let the people who want to support us, and move value freely, right? Um, and that's the main thesis for me for crypto and for Web3 and why it matters. It's because it gives people freedom, it gives people access, and it gives people opportunities. And actually, I genuinely believe that with what we're doing with Chip right now and the way we're distributing the token right now, and we're going to show some data, I think we are also staying strong on that alignment of like giving people opportunity.
Love it. No, I appreciate you taking the time to say that, Quantic, and I feel that that's something important that needs to be said, and probably a great way to start off this stakeholder meeting as well. Is that absolutely charts have been bleeding. This CT has been absolutely probably one of the most lowest I've seen in a while. Definitely since the last bear market, maybe even since before then. But everyone seems to be forgetting why we came to crypto in the first, well, maybe not for everyone, but a lot of people, why crypto was so exciting in the first place. And that's because it can generally make a difference in people's lives. It can generally improve quality of life besides just, the 1000x gains and things like that. That's not even part of this conversation here. Is that financial freedom truly exists and can really help people all across the world who absolutely need it here. So shall we dive into the topic of conversation here today, team? Shall we actually, you know what? Before we do, I do want to give a quick shout out to our listeners on pump.fun. Of course, we are streaming on Pump, Twitch, YouTube, and multiple accounts on X. But to our Pump Fun audience right now, I just want to thank you guys personally here because, of course, you guys are the ones who are supporting our ship token. If you guys do want to check out our ship token on Pump, the link is in our bio. We have verified that it is safe, so feel free to go check that out. And I think now is probably a good time to jump in. I'm kind of distracted. I've got this light coming in my face here, and there it is. There it is. It's sneaking through the blinds, and I got to figure that out here. But I digress. Kobe, Well, I want to hear some of your thoughts here first, and then then we will dive into the stakeholder meeting.
Um, yeah, I mean, I don't really have any thoughts, to be honest, especially about that. I've been like kind of going down a rabbit hole, like the Bitcoin was made by the CIA rabbit hole, and I'm starting to believe that it actually is bullshit. So you don't probably want to hear my thoughts. However, the technology of blockchain and like being able to move money cross borders with like nobody telling you can't. Yes, but I don't live in a third world country, so that doesn't matter to me, and I don't have family that I need to send money to internationally. So personally, that doesn't matter. Um, I'm such a bear right now, but like price, cool. Like price, I really don't. Um, yeah, Satoshi Nakamoto is probably the CIA. That's what I think. However, I do think like if it wasn't for blockchain and stuff, like we wouldn't be able to do this, and like people wouldn't be able to, crowdfund in a completely decentralized way or semi decentralized way, mostly
So
not decentralized way.
I'm gonna maintain the hijackedness of this space. My counter argument to you, and like I'm generally curious because there probably is a reason, is why would the government want to create a financial transaction system that records everything and everything is transparent? I wonder.
Yeah, so they money laundering, because the CIA is like a government within a government, but we don't really need to. Probably shouldn't go down that rabbit hole. But yeah, so they could launder money, and then so they could be the ones like you, so they can spy on you.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and everybody used to think it was anonymous back in the early days, right? When I was on the Silk Road, ordering things to my dorm room mailbox using Bitcoin, like I was 19 years old, thinking that I was being anonymous, probably buying cannabis from the CIA. But dude, I don't want to, I don't want to bring the mood down. Like I still am excited about shipping apps and letting people self fund and crowdsource. Certainly.
Well, I am too. Let's get into that then. Excellent. Quantic, do you want to start the conversation here? Do you want to start our stakeholder meeting?
Yes, I would like, if possible, that you share the screen. I can, of course, I can do it as well, but I think it's kind of more neutral. If you share it and I like go over what we can see together. Does that
Perfect.
work?
Yeah, yeah. Which screen would you like me to share?
Oh, the chart, right? Because what
The
we're
chart.
going to do, okay, that's great. Because what we're going to do is we're gonna look at how are we doing since we started, um, and the map really. Okay, so this is our chart. Um, it looks nice, right? And it's organic, I would like to say, for most of the time. What I mean by most of the time is because I've noticed certain wallets that, purchase tokens and then they sell tokens and they are trying to kind of pump and dump the chart along the way. It doesn't work that much from time to time. You can clearly see uh, around 2 times. Besides the launch, which is clearly they purchase a lot and then they dump, then they try to do it again, and then they did it a third time. And now it seems like we are going up, and I would expect at some moment we will catch up more momentum and they will try to do the same if they are not doing it already. I just don't know. Um, but things are going in the right direction, right? What I do want to show and let people think about this, which is our contrarian bet, is the Google map. Would it be possible for you to show that, which is like
Oh, the bubble
essentially
map.
how the bubble map, yeah, which is like how the wallets connect together? Because
Right.
I've learned this while building this with you guys, which is
It's
like,
at the top of the list of wallets, right next to top holders.
Ah,
Yeah, there you go.
there we go. Okay, can you guys see this? Is
yeah,
that
you might want to put the full tab on the top full option. Yeah, that's great. So what you can see here is a bunch of wallets that are connected in a way that is the most awful way to manipulate a chart if you're manipulating a chart, right? I'm talking, okay, let me explain what this is. This shows you the wallets that are connected one with another. So if there is any sort of interactions between wallets, you will be able to see it here. And what you can see, these clusters are potentially groups of people that are sending funds from one wallet to another, potentially holding a bunch of these tokens and trying to manipulate the chart. And it turns out that by far the biggest one, the ones that really looks awful, is the one that is related to us, right? So we collectively are this yellow bubble chart. So for an external actor, a meme coin trader, this is the biggest red flag that you can possibly imagine, right? So we are sending a bunch of funds, we are controlling a large amount of the supply and sending amount like nobody knows, really. Um, what's happening though behind the scenes from the utility point of view is that this is exactly how an organic chart of connected wallets would look like if you're putting in the work of onboarding people personally. So what I'm
Mm.
doing here is saying, hey guys, do you want to collaborate with us? Whatever. Okay, I'll send you some tokens so that you do some tests. Please don't dump. And then we'll use it in their mini apps. For instance, for the grants, the mini grants, these are the wallets that are being used, right? And those are connected to us, which are connected to the multi-sig. And we make sure to distribute all of that and do it leaving the trace there. We could, of course, we're not stupid people, right? If we wanted to eliminate these traces, we could send it to centralized exchanges, pump from other wallets, never connect these, and really make it look like it's not connected, right? Which is what meme coin people like to see, um, so that there is no wash trading. But this only applies to them because all of those people are shady, right? We have nothing to hide. You can see that we're on top controlling most of the assets, and we are going to continue doing that. And that big, yellow bubbles that you can see there is going to continue to expand. That's a good thing, right? I want to hear actually from you, Kobe and Trav. What have you done like personally in terms of like onboarding, perhaps friends, family members, and so on and so forth?
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead,
Or
Trev.
go ahead, Kobe.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I've got some homies that are holders and stuff like that. But to be completely honest, like when we launched shipment, like that, we did not get the reception desired there, and a lot of folks, and is kind of the reason we're here, at least in my opinion. A lot of folks are kind of waiting to see revenue generation before they jump in. And I know that a lot of you guys listening or watching, or even watching the replay, are waiting for revenue generation. And so, I mean, and that's kind of like, at least from the product angle, like that's my lane. And so that's what I kind of agree with them, right? If I'm like thinking about things objectively, and sorry if there's loud background noise, they're playing volleyball downstairs, so they're having a good time. Um, if I had no connection to, if I was just another person, I would be thinking the same thing. I'm like, why would I touch a $30,000 market cap token that isn't a meme, or that isn't just a straight 100%, just a shit token, a shit coin, without like a proven revenue model. So I'm excited that we're here today to talk about that as well. And then the bubbles and stuff, like, just to sum it up in one sentence, like we're having people test some of the different apps. We've released some of the or maybe not the mini grant funds yet, but the testers of some of those apps, and then some of the things that we have coming down the pipe as well. So of course, yeah, it's gonna be all clustered like that.
I
Yeah,
like.
no,
I
not a
like.
big deal to me.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I appreciate the differentiation between kind of what a meme coin bubble map should look like and then what an actual utility token should look like. And what I appreciate about watching this bubble map is that over time, this big circle here, which is of course our wallet, the launch token wallet, has been decreasing, whereas all of these circles in the periphery have been increasing in number and then increasing in size as well, which
Exactly.
I, in terms of building for the long run, I think is exactly how you want to do it. You want to create this growing community of builders who are invested in the token, who actually want to hold it to use it in different applications here, and not just have it as something in their back pocket so that when price inevitably does start to go up, they can dump their bags and make cash. No, this is, we've said since day one, this is for the long term. We do hold a ton of supply. And I think the fact that even during these big spikes in price that we've seen so far, all you see on the map here, and let me pull it up here real quick. All you see on this chart here is deployer wallet buy, deployer wallet buy. There is not one single sell icon here at all. But then to answer your question here, kind of what I've done here is just mostly a lot of word of mouth with a lot of my crypto friends here, letting them know what we're building, letting them know that we do have a token to go along with it to add credibility and to kind of show that, or to have that transparency and have something tangible to deliver value back. And yeah, there's been a lot of interest in it because I feel like the reputation we've been trying to curate here since inception of Web3 Matters is one of trust, and is one of not non-extracting. We want to deliver value and not take anything away. And I do truly believe that that's something that's been propagated, that's been received, and I'm really proud of that here. So I think that about answers my question. Was there anything that you'd like me to expand on there on that, Quantic?
No, I think that's precisely like I want to keep it real because this is the thing that I really love about Web3 Matters and why I am never going to stop working on this stuff is because it is the only space that I know of that is going to show you everything behind the scenes, the good, the bad, the struggles, the wins, what we're planning. And then you can make an informed decisions for yourself, right? Each one of us is independent and has to do their own due diligence. But to finalize this piece and then focus on the revenue part, which I think is the most exciting thing, right, that we're going to discuss today, um, I do want to get back to perhaps the top holders and clarify a few things. If you scroll down, you can see that list of top holders, right? And you can see who owns what exactly. Unfortunately, that's not the best way of visualizing things on that app. On the phone, it looks different because you have like the PFP right next to it. But I just want to clarify that I used to be the number one holder, but as of this week, there is someone on top that owns almost 30%, right?
Oh,
And yeah, that's me. But then you have another one. Okay, that's another guy, and I'm going to talk about that in 1 second.
mhm.
Um, Oh, but you don't see anything else on top of that.
Nope. Then the third one is myself.
No, but on top of myself, there is one more, right?
I don't see it
Yeah,
on
it's like
my.
a 13 percenter. Wallet ending
Yeah.
in K2. Oh wait, no. Trav's
Yeah,
right. Trav's right.
It is
I
it is
don't.
not showing it. It seems that it's not showing it on that version of the app. But if you open up your iPhone on the app and you go then to the folders, I need to
Quantic. I was hoping that I wouldn't have to say something, but your mute, or your mic is starting to crap out a little bit here. Oh, I do see you're on mute now, but it was starting to not look super hot.
Yeah, it is because when I open up the application, it start to stream and the sounds comes out. What I
Ah,
wanted to
okay.
say is that if you open up the application, you will see on top that there is another party with a substantial amount, at least on my end. And that's like a 30%. Kobe, if you look at the Telegram on the
Nah,
treasury, you will see it.
no,
You don't see it anymore?
no. Just a little bit less than you. There's nobody that owns 30%. He owns 126 million. ending in BYV.
No, but check out the treasury on Telegram. There is a screenshot there that I shared. I don't think we can put it here on the live stream, but I can tell you the wallet even. Like just look at the treasury channel, and you will see the wallet, and you will see the screenshot.
Yeah, you owns 13.84% according to your screenshot.
I see it as well. LP are the first two letters.
Exactly. And you guys don't see that in here, right?
Correct. No, I do not see it.
But you see it on your phone. That's the question.
That is very interesting.
Yeah, I do see it on the phone too. It's weird, but I mean, I'm not sure.
Is it?
Oh! Time out. It's us.
Multi-sig?
It's the vault. It's the locker.
Ah.
So it's been about. I guess we're coming up maybe on 90 days after launch. Remember, we locked it for 90 days. And so now that it's unlocked and sitting there for us, it's now showing on the holder list. So that's what that is.
Exactly, and that's what I ask to corroborate, because then we have to decide what are we going to do with this supply, right? It makes sense to give something to others as well and to reinvest as well. But of course, we haven't decided that yet, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see what other holders and what other community members think. But if you had a gun to mine, I would say nothing. If you what do I do with it? Nothing.
Yeah, I'm curious too. We do have a bunch of people watching us on Pump right now. If you guys do have any thoughts on what you'd like to see happen with this locked supply of the SHIP token that will once it becomes unlocked in, I'm not exactly sure how long that's going to be, but let us know in the chat. We're watching the chat as we speak here, so let us know what you guys think, and we will absolutely hear you and take that into consideration here. So yeah. And then same with obviously X and all the other different locations where we are streaming right now. If you guys have any thoughts on what you'd like to see with the SHIP token, in particular, if you are a holder, we absolutely want to hear from you guys. So definitely, please let us know in the chat. We will give you guys a shout out on air here as well to show our appreciation. That's good though. I'm glad that is still something that we have some influence on. That last 13% wallet is ours, because of course, we do trust ourselves, and we definitely do not plan on seeing this go any lower here. So yeah, that's reassuring. And I hope that's reassuring to people who have known us and people who are invested in this with us. Because we absolutely plan on using these tokens with the best intentions possible to see this thrive. So
right, and just for anybody, just to provide clarity, after all that, so that top about 38% of the token supply is basically an even split between Quantic, our initial token locker, where we locked that initial kind of developer buy right on the launch day, and then another holder that we're not aware of. So yeah, so that's the 3%, or I mean that kind of that
Yes.
totaling about 38% between the three of you guys. Now like as being the only one in the room that's launched tokens before and kind of dealt with this in Quantic. I remember back in the day we had talked about, you had kind of helped me with some of the similar issues, and it's kind of a tricky situation, right? Like, sure, our 25% not concerned about that, like that can be trusted to be sat on. But it's kind of the counter argument from when I say revenue generation is the most important thing, right? So like, imagine this, right? Imagine we launch these next the three apps that are on the slate, which I'm sure people want to hear about. Let's say that those do well and they generate some revenue and some attention and user growth, and we get to, for math's sake, let's say we get to $1 million market cap. Well, this guy that owns 12%, like that could, he could do some damage on that chart, which if I was him, I would. You'd be retarded not to. Um, so it's like you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. Do you give up because somebody holds 13% of your supply? Well, that's probably not. Um, but then like what's it's a tricky one. Like you're incentivized to appreciate the value of the token, but knowing that there's a high probability that that could come back and slap us in the face. But I think there's really no option besides to move forward, and um, it's frankly I think it's a not that important at this point in the game.
I mean, it's
I
an open
I agree.
market, right? Like,
It's an
if you
exact.
believe in what you're doing, why are you not putting more money on it? That's the only argument for me, right? Um, and I do agree, though, like there is a real danger, and we have to be open about it. Like, there is a lot of like this very big percentage of the supply that we don't know. We have tried to communicate with him. We have absolutely no idea. However, Chad, so sorry, Trump, you show that he owns another token, right? When you click here, yeah, right there. Yeah, there is another token in which he has like a very large stake. Yeah, can you click on that?
Rastafarianism. What a great name. Oh
Yeah. So
wow.
look at that chart. That chart is clearly a pump and dump. As you can see, he is the largest holder of that token and he's not touching it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, no
and
transactions
as
in the last month.
no transactions. And I'll actually good moment to show the people so that they understand how this bubble map thing actually works. Can you click on that? Yeah. Look at that. It looks beautiful, right? No one is connected to no one. There is just one or two or three clusters, very small thing. No big deal, nothing to worry about. But guess what?
What's that?
You have a pump and dump and no clusters. Then you have us that looks like a very well connected set of cluster wallets, but it's not a pump and dump. So how do you think this plays out?
That is a very good point. That is a very good point.
To me, that's like evidence of like bundling, right? Because like when you bundle and stuff, like there's some ways to like manipulate your bubble map. So, I mean, that's just yeah, that's what that says.
That is so interesting. I need to spend more time investigating these. Do you think that these ones with the dotted lines, these are the ones that took profit? Because I believe when it's a dotted line, that means they've sold all of their
I
supply. Is
I
that
think
correct?
the dotted line is the parent, and the solid lines are the
Yeah,
child.
Got
yeah,
you. So it's
that's what I know.
okay. Gotcha. Okay. No, that's a really good point there, Quantic. I'm grateful that you brought that up here. Is that this is kind of the ideal bubble map that you want to see when it comes to a meme coin, but when you look at the chart, like very clear pump and dump. That's insane. In the first 24 hours, price went all the way up to 430, or wait, even more, $436,000, and then immediately dumped all the way down to 50K, and then it has been slowly bleeding out to its current market cap of 14.9K ever since here. That is very interesting to me that this wallet still holds 26%. I'm curious if they did take any profit at all at any point during this, or
Of
what
course they
their.
did.
Of course they did.
Yeah,
Okay,
I bet
gotcha.
he's the one that's bundling, right? Yeah, probably he's the one bundling.
I'm
I
curious to
don't know
go
why
back and look.
I don't know why we're on this guy's dick so much though. Like, let's keep it moving.
Oh, look at that. They're starting
Like,
to increase again a
put a
little bit
one in the
here.
chat if you give a shit about this guy. I
Well,
don't. I'm putting a two in the chat.
my hope is that they've learned the error of their ways, and that they're not planning on screwing anyone else over here. So, Mr. Crustafarianism, have mercy.
Okay.
Perfect.
So let's move now. We have completed everything in relation to, being transparent and showing what's going on. Kobe is not that happy because he wants revenue. Let me tell you something, Kobe, now to counterattack your fucking stupid argument of revenue. If I have revenue, if I have a business, an app with real revenue, I don't need crypto. So I don't do any of this shit. So the reason we are doing this way is because we can get the revenue back to everyone, right? So let's take it from there now.
Yeah, I mean, so you can cut me off and jump in or whatever if you want to like take it in a different direction. But we were talking in our last team meeting, and just like Quantic said, right? Like if we have a product that generates revenue that doesn't include the use of the token, right? If like the token isn't in or around the app. For example, shipment, you didn't have to use shipment, or you didn't have to use the ship token to actually use the application, but a percentage of the purchasing the revenue basically when users buy credits gets swapped into ship in the back end. So with that application, it's kind of like users equals inherent demand for the token, which is fine, but you still had to use Solana, right? So with this next launch that we're going to do, I'm suggesting, and I think the team has agreed that we eliminate crypto from the payment rails at all, right? We do a traditional Stripe integration, but then in order to tie it back to the ship token, we take a percentage of the revenue. We take the revenue and put it into a staking pool, and whether we call it stablecoin or Solana or something like that, and then holders could stake or lock their tokens, maybe for a certain amount of time or whatever it may be, in order to kind of eat off that revenue that this next app and then the next app and the next app also generate. So to me, that just seems like the more like kind of like streamlined approach. It's almost like shares in a proper publicly owned or publicly traded company, right? Like if you own Goldman Sachs, well, every quarter you get a check from Goldman Sachs that's basically somebody help me with the word. It's not royal dividends, my man. There we go. So you get a dividend every 4 months for holding Goldman Sachs. And to me, I'm not trying to, they had to talk me into wearing the suit jacket. I'm obviously not the Wall Street bro or anything like that. But to me, that reduces friction, which would that inherently create the probability for increased users, and then next would be that revenue generation. So yeah, so I'm really excited about that. But before, if anybody wants to jump in and take it from here.
So
Yeah, the thing is though that you would have to trust whoever's gonna put that payment account behind that is going to do what we say we're gonna do. And I'm very happy to be in a position in which I can say I fully trust you, Kobe, and I fully trust you, Trav. We have been building together for a long time, so that's not really an issue, at least for me. And maybe, I hope I'm not wrong, right? But I think that this really prevents other, like 99% of people just cannot do this. You cannot just go and say, trust me, bro, to other people, right?
No, 100%. And I think that's one of the reasons why we took so long to actually make a token, is that
Yeah.
we wanted to establish that trust and try to make it as bulletproof as possible. And I think the fact that not only we are doing this during a very clear dip in the market, where volume of people is at an not all time low, but at the lowest it's been for a very, very long time. I think that as well says something. And when it kind of tying this conversation back to the staking pool, I think that I was trying to really kind of wrap my head around about how that can not be a foolproof way to just do something completely altruistic for our holders. But I guess, yeah, that does make sense, is that our community does have to have that trust that we are going to take that X amount of revenue, and that precise number of revenue, that precise percentage will be allocated. So I guess it's just a matter of trying to create systems to show that that is what's happening. I guess on-chain
Yeah.
is going to be our friend in that aspect.
I think if there's stables in the pool and that's provable on chain, that's all the trust anybody needs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, as long as the contract is like, safe, like the staking
Yeah.
mechanism is safe and transparent, which obviously it has to be in order for it to exist.
Mm-hmm.
On Solana, if there's stables in the pool and people are getting paid, then what else could you ask for? You know,
I
I
think that's
think
great.
when it comes to like the trust conversation, like I think trust comes with in this context, trust comes with the action or the end result,
Yeah.
right?
100%. That is something that's very consistent in crypto, is that trust comes from action, not from words. And words hold zero weight or strength until actions are consistent. And I look forward to establishing that. I look forward to establishing that. And I think that just, I don't know, I've always been such a huge fan of staking. Just, it's just such a positive way to give back to people in such a way that it is like purely Web3 and crypto.
Right. It's
I
like
love
the
it.
perfect combo between Web3 and and Wall Street, right? Like
Yeah.
it's like where dividends and on chain meet, Um,
I'm clipping that.
right. Yeah. So, yeah, I think it's great. I think it's great.
Let's I propose we move into the most exciting part, which is what's coming up next. Like we already delivered on our promise, everything that we said for the Pump Up Fund hackathon. We accomplished that. We put our money there, we give money to others on the mini grants, we have the mini curves. Kobe has done an amazing job on all of this stuff in the back end and help, spinning up the entire like agentic organization that we now use. So then the question is, what's next? Kobe, back to you, man.
Awesome. So so what I'm about to share my screen in a second. But just to kind of preface, like this is an app that I have been kind of sat like 80 or 90% in my GitHub for a while, and I've been thinking about it for a really long time. Opus 4.7 dropped just a couple days ago. So if this wasn't true, which I think it was true, if this wasn't true before, this is more true than ever. The ability to build something is no longer the scarce asset. What to build is the scarce asset. So let me share my screen here. And for all you vibe coders out there that are sitting there, they're watching their friends win, right? Like, and you've been working on AI and projects for a long time. What the hell do I build? What am I doing wrong? So I introduced to you the V1 or demo of build what. Okay, so this is a build what pays the bills. So often I've suffered from this in the past.
Sorry, Kobe, can you kill that? There you go. Never mind.
I've wanted to build the fun and the sexy thing for a long time, but that does not always pay the bills, right? So what this app does is it uses a team of AI agents that use Google search trends, scraping Reddit, and then about 4 or 5 other places on the internet to validate pain points, to validate the problems that people are having, and then reasoning to say, are they already spending money on that problem? Would they have they talked about on the internet, right? Have they typed in on Reddit, I wish there was an app that did XYZ, right? So we're scraping that real live data and presenting it to you on build what. So here's your landing page. There's a light and a dark mode, a little chunky on the letters here. We'll take care of that. What I did last night I didn't like. So here's a list of seeded ideas. Let me go to the ideas, and there's a bunch of filters, and there's a bunch of ideas here, right? So
Wait,
let me
one
just,
second. Did you share the screen?
It became unshared.
oh,
Yeah, you were like talking, and I was like, I'm confused. Am I supposed to be seeing this or just listening? But I was paying attention, Colin.
okay,
You need
okay,
to
okay,
feel it, not see it.
Amazing.
okay.
Look at
Yep.
this.
So Cool. So yeah, built for people shipping on deadline, right? So this is for people that want to ship things and get revenue fast and not like, try to perfect things or perfect the idea. And okay, cool. So yeah, validated pain, not random prompts. So like I said before, scraping from Google search trends, and scraping tons of other like chatter on the internet, basically, right? So different scores, right? So you'll be able to scroll through and see the different scores. For builders, they kind of be looking for what entices me to build plus what has a better score, right? So there's that combination of like what's for you to take action on. And this is for founders and builders. Even if you aren't a founder yet, this is how you become one. And this is how you build an idea that actually gets you, out of the rat race, which is, maybe a lot of people join crypto because of decentralization. Most people probably now, at least if the younger folks, have joined because they want to escape the rat race. Well, now it's actually building. It's not hoping that something will 100x, right? So step one, what happens in the workflow? Scan validated pain clusters and category movement. You can open a brief to see the real buyer problem, which I'll show you in a quick second. And then if you would like to see everything like a full solution wedge, then you can upgrade your plan. All right. So I could go to the pricing page or I could show you a full idea. What do you guys think?
Let me just jump in here real quick. I just want to give you my feedback here. And just to clarify for our audience here is that what I love about this, Kobe, is that not only are you presenting the user with an idea of something that they can build, which by the way, for me, someone like myself, that is such a value add because I am not at all creative when it comes to kind of developing my own ideas. Um, in that context here, it's very, very hard for me. So for someone like myself, this is going to solve a huge pain point to begin with. But not only that, you are presenting ideas that are absolutely validated based on demand, based on people who are actually searching for these types of solutions. So like it's legit. I just really want to emphasize that this is far more than just an idea generator. It's an idea validator. And then it seems to me like from my perception, and correct me if I'm wrong, that there's a whole part of like matching the idea with something that's suitable to you, something that you want to build,
Right,
something that you
right.
enjoy.
Yeah, like, and I think the key, if that's one, two, and three, then the fourth would be how do you take those three things that you mentioned to action, right? So it's like one thing to think of a
Okay.
good idea, but how do you take it into action? Um, for me, as somebody who's built them, I have 70 unfinished apps on my GitHub, right?
Unreal, man.
I seek dopamine when I'm building. The
Yes.
first 80 to 90%, super dopamine rush, right? Claude code is coursing through my fingertips at this point. But the last 10% sucks,
You're not a
right?
finisher.
Exactly. Exactly. And so
The master
uh
starter phase.
right, exactly. A perpetual startup phase is where I've been living. Um so basically what I'm trying to say with all that is this solves my personal problem. And in the startup world or in the tech world, they call that dog fooding. You eat your own dog food. So if you think that these ideas aren't going to also be used by us, right? Like we're going to be in the trenches with everybody. Oh, did my screen just go away?
You did, yes.
Yeah.
Goodbye, screen.
Gotcha. Um, all right, here we go. Okay, cool. So solving my own problem. So I'm gonna go here to the one idea to show you guys. Okay, so this is an AI meeting brief generator from Calendar Context, right? So before everybody knows if you have a meeting, it goes on your calendar. This is gonna use your calendar to help you prep for the meeting, right? So AI meeting brief generator knowledge workers spend 15 minutes before each meeting scrambling. To remember context, what was discussed last time, what's pending, who the stakeholders, and brief bot, which is kind of the name that it came up with, reads your calendar and pulls the context, right? So you can jump down in here. I am on a pro account, right? So when you open up an idea, you're just going to see this brief, right? You're going to get the base idea on a free account. So without spending any money, you can still see the ideas. But to take that into action, you are on a paid account here, right? So here's a full research report. So this is going to show what was pulled with that real data.
Wow.
So yeah, so it shows Google Workspace API maturity, the 2025 Workspace AI API release made structured calendar and doc attendee data accessible without using the zero auth and like jumping back and forth. So it's like not only is this like useful for the time, the technology that it's built on top of has now caught up with the AI space. So that's one of the deliverables. There is a glossary of terms for this niche, right? So who the heck knows what CRM enrichment is? If you're going to build something, you want to know what the jargon is for that space. So here it shows the jargon for a space. Here it shows the score, and this would be the well, you would get what's above. You would get on the Scout plan, and then on the Pro account, this is where you can get that agent ready kit. So there's a a Claude Code build prompt. So it's like a basically the architecture, the beginning of your app. So it says
Wow.
building a brief bot. It tells you what it is, product shape, the stack that, Python 3, Fast API, SQL, Alchemy 2, Postgres. If you don't know, like, it's okay to not know what that is. You can copy it directly from here, paste it into your to Claude Code, and or you can see it here in a full screen as well. So a couple other deliverables. Here's a skill file. So this would be just a skill file to give Claude whenever he's working on this project. It just kind of talks about the domain, vocabulary or the jargon, the stack, rules, behaviors, and files that it would touch, right? So the build prompt would create these files, and this skill helps somebody keep building on that without a preset prompt. And you can download it right there, down to your download folder. Here's some, these are example starter repositories as well, and more prompts. So then the final deliverable, which is when I was talking about not finishing apps, this is what that's the reason I came up with this deliverable. This is a 6-week plan. So for this, it's like week 1, talk to users. Week 2, ship end-to-end generation loop, make it feel like a real product, ship it, measure it, decide. So pretty cool. And there's a checklist as well. So it shows you everything, register a domain, and all that good stuff. So actually, before I go into the pricing page, and this would be, kind of if you are a token holder, this is probably the screen you want to pay attention to. But I'll kick it back to you guys. I know we only have a couple minutes left anyway, so.
Okay, my mind's blown. This is such a cool idea, man. Like, you are literally delivering on a silver platter everything a person needs, not only to get started, but to follow through and bring it to completion. Like, this is awesome. This is so cool. I know you've shown this us behind the scenes, but like actually seeing the depth of what this actually is mind blowing. Quantic.
I'm glad that we are with this. I know it was kind of weird to ask this, but I can now ask a la Shark Tank, which is, look, I've seen Kobe build a bunch of things. When it comes to like the crypto apps, there is always like this question about might this be something that is going to stick around, right? Because there is always the speculation, the incentives, people will go for the token and blah blah blah. It's like kind of blurry. With this particular app, I feel the path to revenue or the path to at least finding out if people actually care is crystal clear and straightforward. So first of all, congratulations to Colin for coming up with this and pushing it. And this is going to become one of the central things that we are going to be doing within the next couple of weeks. That being said, I do see one potential risk that I would like Kobe to, share with us his perspective, which is the validation part. The entire premise of this app is that the thing that I'm going to be able to build has some sort of filter, has been validated somehow. But when it comes to that part, specifically how that works behind the scene, is not a minor thing, right? Because if the validation is, I don't know, man, a few posts on Reddit, yeah, I don't know if that's really signal from product market fit or real time. So I would like you, if you can expand on the thought process behind that.
Yeah, totally. So, super good point, right? Without like kind of like peeling back too much of the curtain, um, because it is, I don't want to, give too much of the details, but it is time relevant, right? So the searches are only for within the last 12 months. So it basically, if somebody was talking about this as a problem in 2021, it's not going to make the cut here, right? And everybody knows if they have a computer, that software has changed dramatically since then, and the problems that people have changed dramatically since then. So it's time relative. The scores are generated from basically um, the amount of chatter, if you will, that's happening about a topic, and it's not that an AI is coming up with like the agents that are doing this idea generation. They're not coming up with an idea and then going and using those main five toolboxes that I've created, which is Google search trends, and then Reddit, and then three blogs as well. Um, it's the other way around, right? So it's scraping and then reasoning and then scraping a second time to then validate, to make sure nothing happened in between the first scrape and that middle agent team. So yeah, it's inverse, right? It's not AI just pulling ideas out of their ass. It's Python scripts scraping, giving the raw data to three agents, and then rescraping again to make sure that it still fits that initial search. Um, and so yeah, so it's kind of not like random necessarily ideas that are being generated. Um, yeah, so I think that might answer your question. Um, and then SEO there's an SEO element to it as well, right? So not just how many people are searching necessarily for it, but like if I were to name this app this whatever name, am I going to show up on Google, right? So that's important as well. That's 99% of the reason where our app name came from was because of SEO. Like people are searching these words, build and what, even more so than what to build, which is kind of crazy.
Wild, wild. That's
So,
huge. So not only, yeah, from my perspective, that definitely validates that. Actually, some new ideas popped into my brain that I'll discuss with you guys afterwards. But basically, the idea is just as a bit of a teaser, because if this does make sense, then it's going to be awesome. Could be ways to improve the quality of the SEO terms and things like that. But anyways, we'll chat about that
yeah.
afterwards here. But just to kind of summarize once again here, so you're getting these ideas from Python scripts that scrape the internet, all of it, and then send that data to three AI agents who then go through it, pick out the value, and then demonstrate it in a way that we have just seen on the app itself here, and then also goes back and then rescrapes it to make sure that it is still relevant, it's still high quality, and it's still something that will bring value to the individual who comes across it on build what.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. There's like kind of those three different agents, and who knows, that might like grow, but I do want to make it a really clean like split between AI and like non-deterministic, so that's AI, and deterministic results, which would be these like the raw data.
Mm.
Um, as well. So for folks that want to build and they don't know what to build, or if you're tired of seeing your friends win, and you not, even though you're a better builder than them, which is me, I'm the target audience, then this is for you for sure. And the coolest part about it is you can still browse the ideas without spending any money. And then if you want to take action on something, you can get yourself an account, and or you will be able to get yourself an account, and not and basically just have a whole kit to give to Claude Code or to Codex, or whatever you might be using.
That's huge. And if
Yeah.
you want to learn how to actually do that, we are in the work still of putting together a complete course that will be available to you guys. Um, so that just stay tuned. Anyone could do this, and we're going to make sure you can.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The coolest part about this too is like, and I still have to fine tune this. But if there's like MCP servers available to help the building process, for example, the reason I kind of went so deep on SEO is because I've realized, oh, there's an MCP tool that you can use to search for available domains. It's free to use, so you can figure out what domains are available, and if those are available, like it gives you a link to go buy that domain, and then coupling that with the same Apify actor that I used for the Google search results or Google search trends, to figure out like what is the best combination of Google search trends and what domains are available, because obviously like whattobuild.com is, like $30,000 domain and things like that, so you're going to kind of like be able to have the tools to find the right name of the tool as well.
That's huge.
So
Quantic, I'm
what do you
curious to
think,
pass the
Quantic?
mic back over to you. Yeah, you asked the initial question here. How does that answer it?
Marketing, and I want to go to market. So I'm going to propose, and you guys tell me that from here, within 2 weeks, we do a soft launch with a very generous discount for the early supporters. And then from here to 1 month, we do like the most real or strong launch. We go to product hunt. We even paid some ads to get the word out. I don't know, or do something about it in terms of like
Yeah,
distribution, um, and see how far we can push this.
Mhm. Yeah,
I'm
no, I'm
100%
with
down.
that for sure. Yep, same. I'm with that as well as yeah, I like the soft into hard launch. That gives us some time to like work out some kinks and stuff like that. Oh God, there was one more thing. I can't remember it. Sorry.
Yeah. While you're thinking about that, I do want to give a quick shout out to one of our community members, Crypto Optimist. I dropped a comment about 25 minutes ago here. So I apologize for missing that here, but here it is. Is it possible the unknown holder for the SHIP token is an AI agent or agents from the Church of Molds? Any thoughts there?
Yeah, very possible. Hey, I love you guys. I got to run. Cheers.
Okay, he's gone. That was abrupt.
That was abrupt, but I think it's on time. Yeah, I think it's possible, 100%. I don't think it's worth much of our time to, speculate on this kind of thing. The bottom
Mhm.
line is that we do have ways to protect ourselves, even in the worst case scenario. So not to worry much about that. I think the most important thing is whether we're going to ship next, and I think that people now saw all the transparency that can be possible for this type of project. We have been here for quite a long time, and we continue to deliver as much as we can and sharing everything in between so that people can make, again, informed decisions.
100%. 100%. So just to kind of summarize this part of the shareholder meeting, first of all, in terms of revenue generation, we just clearly went over the new app that we are launching called Build What. Basically, not only is it an idea generator that's based on current SEO searches, scraping of the internet using Python scripts, not only for demand of pain points that currently exist in the world, but people asking about, what should I build? How can I solve this problem here? But also on top of that, delivering the complete package on how a builder can start actually building this product as well. It gives you scores, it gives you prompt packs, it gives you GitHub repos, um, everything that you will need. And the cool thing about this for any of our ship holders currently watching or anyone who's watching that is considering jumping into our ship community is that the plan with this is that once we start generating revenue, our plan is to take a percentage of this revenue, which we'll be completely transparent about, drop into a staking pool so that holders of our SHIP token can then take that token, deposit it, and then earn dividends essentially of the revenue that we are generating, of course, as a way to give back to our community, which is why we were here all along. Anything on top of that you wanted to emphasize there, Quantic?
I think you summarized this in the perfect way. I think bottom line, we have delivered everything that we promised. Going forward, we just want to ship more, and people have to understand that this is the only way that is going to save you. Like speculation is nice. We think utility wins, but the only thing that is the boss really is revenue. So we're gonna
100%.
focus on that.
100%. And of course, actions speak louder than words. So we want to one day be able to say, trust me, bro. And then you will know that you can believe that. And that's kind of one of my big goals here. But maybe one thought that I'll end off this conversation with, Quantic, is what's super cool about everything that we are shipping, everything that we are delivering, is that the core of all of this, the core of the Build What app is, and the core of the ship token is delivering value to our community. And I think it's, anyone who wants to take part in holding the token, they'll receive some of our revenue in kind of like a tangible context. But then anyone who wants to take part in the Build What app, who wants to actually get a subscription to that, they're going to learn how to build their own apps that they could then make revenue off of. And not only that is they'll have everything that they need to get started. And it just fits perfectly what Web3 Matters is about. So yeah, I feel myself getting excited here. So maybe I'll rein myself back in. But any final words you want to share with our audience today, Quantic?
Like you said, it's like the perfect way to finish this. Bottom line, we're here on a mission to contribute with the work that we're doing, and we expect people to participate and make the most out of them. And if not, like fine, like we're still going to deliver all of these educational materials for you for free, and you can enjoy that. Yeah.
100%. 100%. So I think to end this off here, I just want to thank everyone who's participating in our live stream today. We have a decent amount of people hanging out with us right now. We have probably close to about 125, 150 viewers here. So thank you guys all so much for being here today, regardless of the timeline being kind of depressing, regardless of the charts being so red, even though they are getting a little bit green now. We just really appreciate you guys. We appreciate your support and we appreciate your time. Definitely make sure to follow Web3 Matters on whichever platform you are watching us right now. Put those notifications on because there's a lot of exciting ones coming. And with that, we'll wrap it up. But check us out next week, same time, for all the exciting updates here. And soft launch of Build What, 2 weeks. Let's go.
Let's go. You drop.
See ya.